Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania. As new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hey everyone, Inside the Force, Dave Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello everybody.
And now we are doing episode 4, audio commentary from Inside the Force. Yeah. 1V. Episode 4, A New Hope. If you've been listening to us on the other commentaries, 1, 2, and 3 are out. If you're seeing this, obviously, when this comes out.
Right.
If it's much later, all of them are up. Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We are going to get right into it, as we said before. If you're listening to on the audio podcast, we're going to go ahead and cue you up in a second. Tell you when to hit play. If you're watching, the movie's going to show up somewhere in this area. Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, right
it's kind of probably cover up some of the stuff we already got. But, it's all right. I ran out of figures. Like the other one had, figures, elite figures.
Sure about my Luke speeder.
But
right there.
We'll put that right there just in case. It'll be right there somewhere. Anyway, follow along as we talk about episode 4, talk about what we like, dislike, what we'd probably change. There's a lot in here that we'd probably... we're going to talk about in episode 4.
A lot, yes.
So let's go ahead and get going. Everybody cue up your Blu-ray players. Now's the time. We're obviously watching from the complete saga, Star Wars Blu-rays. So here we go. And 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Here the 20th century. There you go. Okay.
There you go. All right.
News Corporation Company.
Episode 4, released in 1977.
Yes. May 19th, I think.
May 19th, the year I was born. I was born December 77. I feel very good about that. I love that.
It's a good one.
So,
this is definitely one thing. A hot topic. All the Star Wars films have a lot of controversy, I feel like, but this one's like the first one that's got a lot of controversial things in it. I feel like
it does
changes
and mainly because the special editions kicked off.
Yes.
What was going to be the Lucas renditions every time. I mean, I think if I recall, I think the movie has changed every release
a little bit. Yeah.
Right.
Definitely the one sound that Obi-Wan makes, the Krayt Dragon sound, that's changed every time. But
I really think that the Greedo Han thing, something has changed on that every time.
Been cleaned up a little bit every single time.
Like he clearly doesn't shoot first on the very first special edition.
Right.
And then I think then his movement is cleaned up a little bit better. Like it's almost gotten to be really good now.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And now they're pretty much shooting almost at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Anyway, which I think is this version.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that a bit.
Yeah, we will.
But one thing too, just talking about the purists and all kind of stuff, they have a lot of beef with this movie. But for one thing, calling it A New Hope, episode 4. I have a colleague of mine who only refers to it as Star Wars because that's what it was originally referred to as.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that that purists really dislike about this one. Yeah. So we'll talk about some of that.
It is A New Hope.
It's A New Hope.
It's the Star Wars saga. Sorry. Yeah. So that's everything is Star Wars.
That's what George wants.
That's what George got.
Yeah, that's what he got what he wanted. So
I'm curious. Every time I see this now, and granted, again, these movies, and what I mean by these movies, especially the original trilogies, 4, 5, and 6, to me, the enjoyment of watching them is going to change every time now that more and more canon material is being released around these movies.
Yep.
So we have Rebels now out there that I think in the end is going to dramatically change how you view this movie.
And Rogue One.
I was just about to get to that. That's what I was getting to. Rogue One, where this movie starts literally seems like it's continuing from something previous.
Yes. Yeah.
Not just episode 3 though.
Mhm.
So how the plans get stolen, which I'm assuming we'll learn in episode or in Rogue One. So leading to how it comes into R. You think is R2 in Rogue One?
That would be cool.
Have we no? There's no talk about that, I guess, yet.
No, none of the droids. Neither of the droids would be, thought to be in it. So that's very.
Well, I guess R2 doesn't. Well, he doesn't get the plans until this.
Yeah, until this, right?
So
but they're still a big part of the rebellion.
They are
Ambassador Joyce, the ambassador, that kind of stuff.
Especially if they're part of. They're with Antilles, Captain Antilles, who's part of. I guess the Alderaan.
Yeah.
Lifestyle and from Alderaan and with Bail Organa and all that stuff. So,
first big sequence. Yeah, like the one thing I keep talking about Rebels that I love, like if you notice like the blasters here, how they're animated, it's like a solid red kind of laser. Whereas in like the prequels, it's like kind of like how a lightsaber is made, where it's the white center kind of the thing. But the Rebels TV show animates their blasters the exact same way as this, and I always thought that was awesome. Like that's just a nice little touch that they do. To kind of
now I don't remember this is partly with the big controversy of how magenta the blasts are like that.
Yeah,
like I don't remember them being like that.
No,
prior to the special editions. Actually, I think during the special editions they weren't like that. I think it's just the Blu-ray version because a lot of people are complaining about the color effect.
For this specific
for the original trilogy.
Interesting. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
Especially later on when Luke has a white lightsaber, not a blue one.
That one's always that changes like every time.
It seems like the shots on the Falcon are a little too green, so a lot of people are kind of thrown off thinking that the coloring is off in these movies. And I, being someone that kind of works in that field, it does look a little off to me in some places. Like that magenta look.
Yeah.
I don't think that was like that years ago. And I keep wanting to put in like the old DVDs, like when they came out on DVD special editions, and seeing what they look like. But I just don't remember it looking like that.
And there's like a jump cut there. Like you can tell there's a little bit of a jump when R2 puts his leg out. Like little things like that could always be cleaned up, I thought.
They could be. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, one big thing when we talk about when they get to Tatooine, or Mos Eisley especially.
Yeah,
but I think they would clean up, but
quite a bit of stuff that they could still add to it to just make it a little nicer. And that's one of the things too. Some people argue that they don't want any sort of changes whatsoever. They still want to have that kind of authentic look that it did in the 70s. But then I always say, you need to fix it up if you want to stay relevant. If you want to stay something that the kids actually want to watch. Because now,
I agree.
Like, the high school students that I deal with, some of them don't like it. This one in particular, this movie here, the episode 4, because it just feels old to them. And I agree with them. Like, this is one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. It's a good one. I love it. But it's down the list. It's not my top 2 or 3 favorites.
Right.
But that's why I think, it needs to be kind of gradually cleaned up a bit, so that it won't become like a joke. It won't become like just a typical old sci-fi space movie, like Flash Gordon or something like that is.
But it is amazing how good some of the shots really look.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, film.
Yeah,
the film quality has gotten obviously better over the years, but even back then, film looked pretty dang good. You know, so
they shot this on the big wide 70 millimeter. Stuff that Lawrence of Arabia, that kind of stuff was being shot on.
Yeah, he was smart about that stuff, but I definitely think that, like you just said, you don't need to keep. I don't know. You don't need to keep doing it, but you do need to get it to the point where it fits, and it works,
right,
and it's consistent with the other films and whatnot. But in a sense, George was really good about knowing his time, knowing his, obviously having to create a lot of the effects that had to even go into this thing.
Yes.
But knowing that knowing the story that he could tell, not the one that he wanted to try to tell that was going to come off joking and fun. And, because if he did go that route where, he tried to show like a Cloud City or a Coruscant at that point, it would have just been bad.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
35 or 40 years later. But, he and I keep, and we're probably going to mention this a lot in the original trilogy commentaries, but, as Star Wars fans, you just got to realize and remember that the original trilogy was just a story about the rebels, and really it was supposed to keep you contained in a small part of the galaxy.
Right.
Like, you were supposed to be as the rebels. Like, okay, we're operating in this very small part of the galaxy.
Right.
We're fighting this huge empire that you don't even really see that much of. Well, that was his opportunity when the prequels are done. That's why it's so vast. It's his chance to actually show you how big the galaxy is, and all the worlds, and all the people, and that's what you're supposed to remember as you watch the trilogy again, like the original trilogy again. Like, it is to them. It's really small.
Right.
The galaxy is really, or it's so big, and it's so hard for them to fight this rebellion and whatnot. So, I think it's very interesting if you think about it like that. And very hard.
Yeah. There was a shot back there, the escape pod latch. It used to be like really, really blue looking. And they kind of color that. And that's like one of the things they fixed, which I'm glad because it always bothered me.
Oh, right.
Looks like C-3PO's sweating some oil there.
Yeah, he looks like he's been through a lot right there.
I'm surprised they're not broke, like crashing. Like that.
Man.
Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, obviously there's a lot of desert out there in LA to shoot. So, but, very convenient to have a Tatooine, the desert planet, part of this original trilogy when he started shooting. I just couldn't imagine being in costume. I mean, Abrams had to do that stuff, and Abrams did that stuff going back to or creating Jakku basically, and shooting all those people, and it's just you're talking 100-degree weather, and oh man, and everybody's got a costume on. Everybody pretty much wears something
makeup
thick.
Or prosthetics,
So later on here, what do you? It's funny how things keep changing on R2. Even like later on, that what about that part where he's like behind the rocks?
Yeah, like that never bothered me. That it's like he's not hidden enough. They should be able to see him. So little things like that, I do kind of want to know like why he decided to change a few things. But I mean, I'm okay with most of the changes. I feel like. I mean, we'll get into the Han stuff here in a little bit, but I'm mostly okay with pretty much like the blinking stuff, the adding a little aliens here and there. Like, but another big one that they added in the special editions was how busy Mos Eisley is. And I know that's a kind of like a controversial thing as well, because some fans believe that Mos Eisley is supposed to be this very kind of wasteland, barren kind of a city, not this very busy, active, economy kind of thing. And George Lucas went back to add more animals and add more creatures when originally there was hardly anything there. Now I have to think that sky
that was added.
Yeah, that was definitely added.
Yeah, that was definitely added.
But this looks. I've always thought this whole sequence looks good, though.
Yeah, it definitely looks good. And back then, or back to a few shots earlier with 3PO handling down the sandcrawler, like that sandcrawler was so small. Like that had to have been like 50 miles away.
I don't know how I could have seen him. Yeah,
like I was thinking, what?
It's a little thing over there, a little golden guys, which matches the color as the sand. How can we see him?
I know. That was always funny. But yeah, these are good shots. Introduction of the Jawas here.
Very creepy.
I don't think much of this changed at all up until later when he escapes back into the rocks.
Yeah.
After he leaves from Luke's place, but
I wish, because they actually show what Jawas look like without the hood, and I've seen.
They have.
I'm pretty sure somewhere there's like a picture of what they look like, and they look kind of like a rat-looking thing.
Oh, really?
It's really interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen what they look like.
I'm pretty sure I've seen that somewhere. That you actually see what they look like without the hood. Yeah.
I was thinking maybe some little kid back there.
Well, yeah, just like a normal human guy.
Yeah, no. They're all a little creepy.
Yeah.
I love it. I love going to like the conventions and seeing like little kids.
Yeah.
The full outfits. It's hilarious. And they walk up to the R2 units.
Yeah. And
And they're like messing with them, you know? Oh man, it's like the greatest little thing. A lot of short creatures in this
a lot in the whole
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A
the
lot
Star
of
Wars
smaller guys.
universe. At this point, obviously, I think 3PO is already done
he's
on
in
this
there.
thing.
Yeah.
That thing is massive. The
Yes.
Sandcrawler is massive.
Yes.
And I don't think that's special edition. I think that was like that.
Mm-hmm.
Now that obviously is like completely just a bar. There's nothing above that.
Yeah.
Just a part of the wheels of the practicals. But
Pretty cool. Got to see the inner workings of Jawa's sandcrawlers. Now, they don't live. That's just like their kind of mobile
yeah, I think that's just their
workstation or whatever.
Hey, hell, they might live in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they have many places. I don't know. They haven't shown really. Haven't heard anywhere where they've
A Jawa hut.
Jawa hut. Yeah. So, real quick, I guess backstory wise, if you haven't, I mean, obviously you should know, but this is 19 years after Episode 3.
Right.
So after Luke and Leia are born,
Whole generation.
split up. Obviously, Bail Organa has been had adopted Leia, so she's been growing up in the political side.
Yeah.
Luke got dropped off to his aunt and uncle, Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, so he's been living there. I don't, I feel like we're going to get a lot of stories between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
In the coming years.
Mm-hmm.
Rebels will probably hit on a little bit maybe with, I think, Leia. I don't know much about, I don't think Luke.
If they ever get to Tatooine, that'd be kind of crazy.
That would be crazy. I don't know if we'll ever, I don't feel like we should ever see Luke, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I do feel like that Leia will come, because she's got to be in the political world already.
She should be by now, yeah.
Yeah. So, so if you're not watching Star Wars Rebels, you got to see Star Wars Rebels.
Absolutely.
Star Wars, especially this season, it's been fantastic. I always loved this new shot in the special editions, adding on the dewbacks.
They reshot or something like
They
that.
did reshoot some of this.
Yeah,
I think all that was reshot.
pretty much, yeah.
Right there, I think this was old, but they added the dewback, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think these guys walking around was new.
Yeah.
Was a old trilogy, and then that.
dirty
But
Sanders.
that was old, but that guy never moved in the background.
Yeah, they just stood
The
there.
dewbacks never moved. So
Yeah. Looks like George.
comb the desert.
Yeah, I don't think he'd been literally combing the desert.
Man, we ain't. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Good special edition shot of the Sandcrawler again too. So, but yeah, timeline wise, I think it's crucial to know that Rebels is about 5 years before, 5 years before this. So it's a great show to watch leading up to this, and like I said again before, I think in the end it's going to change the way we kind of watch the original trilogy, especially Episode 4. I think Rebels is going to. And even Rogue One is just going to change.
The comics are already doing that too.
The comics are.
Star Wars comic.
But especially the ones that
Between
happened
this
right after this,
Yeah.
leading up to Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, whole different perspective of how, especially Vader.
Yes.
Like his whole Vader comic is fantastic. Figuring out the turmoil that he's going through with against the Emperor.
Yeah.
Emperor really disappointed in him.
Mm-hmm.
How he's trying to figure out who is it that killed blew up the Death
the
Star.
pilot on that. Yeah,
It's awesome. He goes around. He goes through some measures to find that out. But so we're finally arriving at the homestead.
Yep.
Which we saw in Episode 3 at the very end.
What do these other droids do? Like, I can't see their purpose.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's Luke Skywalker.
There he is.
And Owen looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. A little bit.
He's actually wearing a Jedi robe, looks like.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. And I'd always thought that Luke's outfit was all white, but it's not actually.
It's a little yellowish
His pants.
pants.
A little,
a little
greenish
bit.
yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas always was adamant that, he should wear that kind of bright white kind of wardrobe. That old, archetype of good guys wear white.
Really?
Bad guys wear dark colors.
He suggested that?
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what, that was his whole goal, is that, because of going with the whole Joseph Campbell stuff, or just the old samurai films, like usually the good guy wore the white, bright colors, and the bad guy wore the really dark colors. Vader's in all black.
There's 2 shots here, repeat shots that I can't stand. I don't understand why they don't fix. So that right there with
R2
turning his head and looking.
Yeah.
You're going to see the same shot again later here in a little bit.
But it's like inappropriately placed.
Yeah, just not sure why they should a repeat shot, and that's something that could be easily, something like that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Could be easily fixed. It doesn't change the story. It doesn't change what's going on. It's just, fix the continuity. The continuity is the big thing.
Yes.
See, he walks away, and then Red, he comes on.
Yeah.
So there shouldn't be a droid there, right?
Right.
There shouldn't be anything there. It's just R2. And he's like crying, so, but it's right here. It's right here when he
after
the motivator blows.
Yeah.
Which some question that R2 actually did that.
That's a cool thing to think of. Like before he kind of placed it on him or whatever.
Like he did it inside, like
bad motivator.
Yeah. So right here, it's coming up. It's coming up. I swear. Right.
It's coming, people.
See, he's like by himself, but
there he is.
Same shot. So with the red in the background.
Red's in the back, yeah.
Very disappointed in that.
Yeah.
Really need to take that out.
It's so weird.
Yeah. It's just a bad cut. I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, you don't even have to show him. You don't even have to show him.
No.
If you don't have another shot, if you forgot to get the shot without red in the background, and you just don't, or just delete red in the background. You can paint them out now these days.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always thought it was cool in episode 2 how they shot a scene in this area.
Yeah. Those lights in the back.
Because everything's kind of matching still. Mm-hmm. You got a different ship in the background there, I guess. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's not his speeder that's in the back. Is that what is that? Is that a ship back there?
The back? No.
That kind of looks like that. Have you ever seen that Skyhopper thing?
Yeah.
It was like triangle looking.
Yeah,
That's not what that is it?
I thought it was part of the
T-16 Skyhopper.
Might be, actually.
That might be it.
I feel like we should know this, but I don't know.
Yeah, I know. We feel like we should. But that's what it looks like. I remember seeing it. And I remember knowing what it looks like, but I never noticed that background there like that. But so I mean, realistically, don't you think this is probably arguably probably the most iconic scene in Star Wars right here?
Yeah, just the whole
message
line. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's very iconic. I mean, even people maybe haven't seen Star Wars know the line. You're my only hope.
Yeah. So again, that's interesting that Luke says that. The rebellion against the Empire.
Yeah.
So if you follow Rebels was the beginning, truly the beginning of the rebellion, right? Mm-hmm. The whole spark of rebellion, which was the very first episode of Clone Wars or
Rebels,
Star Wars Rebels. So, according to the timeline, then the rebellion has been happening for about 5 years now.
Yeah, slowly growing.
So again, that changes. I'm telling you, it changes the way you watch this movie because before that, you had no idea when the rebellion started.
Yeah.
It could have started 10 years ago. It could have been just happened last year. But now when Luke. You don't know when Luke heard about it, but obviously he started to. So, but it's been going on for about 5 years now, and he wants to. He wants to at least become a pilot.
Yeah.
Which back then I think everybody had to join the Navy, the Imperial Navy, to become a pilot. But
just all the history. Like at this point, all these new characters like Kanan and Ezra are around somewhere. Maybe it's just
that's crazy to think about, right?
There's
Ahsoka.
There's an Ahsoka Tano maybe around this time. We'll see. But
I don't know. I think our fate
is
decided.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or at least when we see Vader, like we know, like oh my gosh, like, he is dealt with Ahsoka as Vader, and this is all his backstory,
right?
Especially at the end of episode 3, which we talked about already. But so interesting, so many things.
But this really shows R2's like intelligence here to be able to do this. Partially play a message so that he can remove the restraining bolt.
He's a smart little guy.
Yeah, he's pretty. Although I don't think these guys are supposed to be artificial intelligence, right?
No, they're not. No,
They're droids. They're just droids.
He's a protocol droid, so he follows a certain set of protocols. You know?
Yeah. Well, he's an astromech droid.
So
he does repairs.
Yeah, but it's still he's very. I don't know. He's just very.
But he does think. It seems like he's
crafty.
thinking on his own, though.
A little bit.
Well,
look, I mean, he's been given a mission to
He has been
find.
given a mission, so would do whatever you can.
Yeah,
to get to that mission.
Go
I guess.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah. Very much so.
And he already know. I mean, he should know who Obi-Wan Kenobi
We
is.
keep forgetting. We should be drinking blue milk right now.
Ah, man. Yes,
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially right now.
Sorry,
for this.
guys.
Yeah.
I'll go to Force Awakens with my blue milk, like
We're
in a
not
bottle or something.
true fans.
Not true fans.
Yes, we are, actually.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
We're recording ourselves talking about the movie. We're true fans.
True fans.
That blue milk. Got a whole stock.
And I keep thinking, you know what? Look, to me, it looks like they're almost eating like Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
It even sounds like
cereal.
it. It even sounds like it. Whatever it is, it looks actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I want some. I want some. But then he does look like he's actually dressed like a Jedi.
He is, yeah. That's
which is crazy.
Yeah. Even Luke's got kind of a tunic thing going on, like what the Jedis do, but no, yeah. Owen looks like an Obi-Wan.
It does make you wonder how often, if ever, Owen has run into Obi-Wan, like in the over the 19 years.
I would think that he has to have, other than what we saw in episode 3, like. And that's why it would be so cool to see a book or some kind of film or show of Obi-Wan on Tatooine.
Yes.
To see if he's had any dealings with these guys. Which, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's canon now. There is a story, where Obi-Wan does run into Luke at some point. I know there's a story canon in these like digital comics that are coming out right now where that does happen. And I assume that's canon at this point, but it'd be cool to see it on a film or read it in a book or something.
Are you talking about that issue in Star Wars? I think that's from his journals.
Not that series. The one that's like the digital release, the digital comic that's on that Webtoons, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
There's like a story where Luke is with one of his buddies and they get in trouble with some Tusken Raiders and Crate Dragon, that kind of things. And then Obi-Wan comes and saves them.
Yeah, I feel like definitely Luke has run into Obi-Wan a couple times because he knows him.
Yeah, old Ben, yeah.
But I'm wondering how often maybe Obi-Wan has come here like talking to Owen, like, all right, I need to train him.
Yeah.
I need to start training him, blah, blah, blah. But he's not letting him because he's trying to keep him there.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is probably the most iconic scene
is
in Star Wars.
definitely the music and just the two sons, yeah.
I mean, unbelievable shot.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Perfect summary of the hero's
crazy.
journey is what this is basically.
And that shot's always been redone too a little bit. The two suns. Before it was like a little more basic, just two big globes, but now I think they added like a cloud in front of it. I don't know. I feel like it's different. I remember noticing that when the DVDs came out.
Yeah.
He walks funny, I think. He kind of walks.
Mark
It's
Hamill.
a strange gait.
Yep.
What were you doing?
You shocked him. Didn't you just shock him?
Pretty much, yeah.
I think you just shocked him. Yeah, definitely. Obviously, that's not a land speeder sitting there.
Yeah.
That might be his T-16. No, I don't think so. That's not what a T-16 is.
Yeah, you're right. T-16 is like that kind of. It's a ship, basically.
Yeah, it's like a triangle kind of thing, right? Yeah. Do you notice, like, he actually sees 3PO, like, right there?
Yeah.
Well, actually, that was the hut.
But they just pass in front of it, yeah.
Yeah, that right there. It's funny how, like, his goggles and, like I said, mentioned before, maybe I think in episode 1, like holograms, they're not always crisp and clear. They're
right.
like staticky.
Just old, just.
Why is that? Don't you think the technology would be to the point where
it's Tatooine? It's just no one cares about Tatooine. Just they do what they can. It's not like Coruscant. I guess they don't always have the best and the most modern stuff.
I guess.
What is she doing?
I mean, this place is very remote and
Yeah.
the Outer Rim, and the Empire really doesn't have that much influence there. Even though you do see a bunch of stormtroopers, I guess, in most
I'm sure they just
but-
kind of like let them, do their thing.
Yeah, but they are there mainly looking for.
Right.
They're there now looking for the droids. So
Right.
that's been cleaned up, obviously,
yeah.
heavily. But,
Yeah. No, Rick, we wait.
yeah.
Later. Okay.
No. I always liked Banthas. I always thought they were.
There's just like an elephant just draped in some stuff.
It
Or
is an
it-
elephant. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
Poor guy.
I know. Yeah, well, I don't know what they did with the trunks. But. Yeah, and I guess the Bantha's mouth's usually open, I guess. And it's kind of weird that they don't right there. But
Yeah.
it just makes you wonder sometimes what they would have looked like if they had digital technology.
I mean,
you know
like
what I
that,
mean?
yeah, that would have been all digital if Lucas had done it this time. But that's
I
definitely
just feel like it
true.
would have been more.
That would have been all digital or something. I don't know. Just
More well, and plus it would have been just more movement, more
yeah, sure.
more realism, I guess.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Did he faint?
He just fainted and fell. He fell like kind of just taken aback, and he just fell over the ledge. He's a coward.
And somehow his arm gets cut off. His
He
arm
just
falls
falls
off.
and just breaks apart. I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
Or
I
they-
don't know.
So there's the
So
rock.
there's the rock,
Yep,
yeah.
the rock that's hiding him there is fake.
Yeah. Is that classic? Do you hear that classic sound effect of
Or the
the
falling thing. Yeah.
rocks?
Yeah.
You know, like. So here's the sound that Casey was talking about.
Yeah.
The sound,
It sounds like a
which is supposed to be a crate dragon.
right. It sounds like a person just going whoa, and then you hear some like sighs or whatever. But no, like I liked how they did it. I mean, in the special edition it sounded fine. The DVDs it was different, but it sounded fine. And now they just kind of like it's weird,
I never knew that it was a crate dragon
right?
until much later. But yeah, I never had a problem with whatever the original sound was. I mean, it's just
Just sounded weird, just scary sound.
I'm just not sure why he changed that.
Yeah, that's not what a crate dragon would sound like.
But the great Alec Guinness
yeah.
playing Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I don't think we mentioned it earlier, but in the prequels, Ewan McGregor just nailed
Yes, he did.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Absolutely.
I think leading episode 3 especially, you can totally believe that they're the same character.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, they did fantastic casting with that.
Yeah, Ewan McGregor, if he can
fantastic.
become Obi-Wan somehow, it'd be like in a movie or something like that.
I want a Netflix show. I
Yes.
want a Netflix series with Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like 3 seasons, it's fine.
Absolutely. So I'd love to know if because I gotta believe in 19 years he found his way off world somehow.
Maybe. Yeah.
You know what I mean, to go do something.
Get a little bored or yes,
Help
get
out.
called something. Yeah.
I mean, because I just can't. It's hard for me to believe that Bail Organa, like this is the first time he's asking for his help. 19 years later.
Yeah, what's like the
You know what I mean? Like,
situation? Like, it must be really drastic, I guess, to pull him out of hiding.
well, it's the Death Star, right? I guess they
Yeah.
figure out
Oh,
the Death
yeah.
Star.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, there's a thing that can kill us.
Yeah,
As
so
a whole planet.
we need the Jedi now to help.
Yeah.
He's probably like, is Luke ready or what?
Yeah.
We've been waiting for 19
Yeah.
years now.
You said that on the ship, me, you, and Yoda. This is the plan.
This is the
Hold your
plan.
end of the bargain there. Haven't talked to Yoda in that many years.
Yeah, is Yoda still around?
Yeah.
What's going on with him? I don't even know where he went. He wouldn't
out,
tell me.
Freaking out, man.
But I do love this scene. I mean, the scene coming up at Obi-Wan's house.
Mm-hmm.
Again, very crucial, very, very, just very important in
Yeah.
the storyline with Vader and all that stuff. Because
Yeah.
and it just has so much more meaning again because of all the stuff coming out in the
Yeah.
comics and stuff like that. So, and that shot
bad
obviously
place
has
to park
changed.
for Luke, I think.
Yeah,
Roll
that
right
shot
off
has
the mountain.
changed a lot.
Yeah. This is always just a very exciting scene. Just all the information he gives Luke.
The first mention of the Clone Wars,
Yeah, like
and no one knew what the hell the Clone
Yeah.
Wars were. You know what I mean?
Like it's a whole 3 movies he just kind of sums up
Mm-hmm.
right here in
He
like
does.
a minute. Yes, kind of getting around the point. I'm telling him that the whole point of view kind of thing. Like telling him like Anakin was betrayed
Yeah.
by Vader, that kind of stuff. Like he
No,
tells
that
him
is the lightsaber.
tells him that Anakin would have wanted him to have it, but he never said that though. Really, I mean, find it interesting that Obi-Wan even decided to keep his lightsaber.
Well, I think he was keeping it for Luke.
Yeah,
you know?
intention. See, look at that. You can fix that lightsaber.
Yeah, totally.
You can fix it.
Fix
Looks
it.
flat and looks.
Fix
the
it.
color's fine. It just looks like it's not perfectly in sync with
Yeah,
his
it's not real.
handle.
Yeah. So, do you think? So you're talking about him. So he says your father wanted to have this before when you were old enough. So obviously he's lying.
Yeah,
I mean, he is lying.
yeah.
I mean, is that?
Unless they had some kind of side conversation we never saw, like, "Hey Obi-Wan, if I ever have kids, and if I'm dead, give my son this lightsaber, please," or something like that. Yeah, I guess it's something to make him feel good.
I mean, but that makes you think. Did Lucas? Did Lucas kind of have an intent that it was okay for Jedi to have kids? You know what I mean? Like, and talk about it
Yeah.
and have like, hey, mom, wife's pregnant. One day I want to give him my lightsaber
Yeah.
and all this stuff, and then obviously that happens. But
I wonder if he had that kind of idea that Jedi would never love.
I don't
Before
know.
this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, of course, Lucas has changed his mind on the story along the years. Especially about Han Solo, who changed. How he wanted to depict him, and that's what causes a lot of people to hate Lucas. But
Yeah,
I feel like maybe at this point he could have thought that the Jedi got married, had kids like normal, but then later on changed his mind. Think like, you know what, they should probably be more like monks and not marry not love that kind of stuff, not fall in love with other people.
but again, I just love that line there with Leia. Like, years ago you fought with my father during the Clone Wars,
Mhm.
and it's like, I mean, in '77, even in the '80s, in the '90s, you're like, what are the Clone Wars? What
Right.
is that?
Yeah.
But then you get to see them. You get a whole television series about
Yes.
what the Clone Wars is. Something that I just never thought we'd ever see something like that.
Yeah.
And I remember even watching, episode 2, then episode 3, thinking, man, all we got in the Clone Wars is the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
What happened in the middle? And, I'm glad we got that now. So, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
I got work to do.
I got work to do.
Can I go to Toshi Station? Pick up some Balgan
I
burgers?
got work to do. It's so far away from here. There's a thing called light speed,
Yeah,
Luke.
it's so far away. Nothing's far away
Nothing's
now.
far away. Nothing is far away. But he's still giving him a lightsaber, though.
Yeah. I want to take this. I don't know how to use it.
Don't cut your arm hand off. Don't cut your hand
I
off
know.
there, buddy. Don't do it.
Don't point that at me right now. Look, he's pointing. He's pointing right at him. Easy
Yeah.
there, Tiger.
Easy,
Gosh.
easy.
Star Destroyer.
That's our first Death Star, right? Shot?
I think so.
Yeah.
Here
Never
you
seen
go.
it since. Now we got some guys out here that
Got Yularen there on the
yeah,
right.
Lauren right there. That's Mahdi. He's talking to General Tag.
All those guys have names. I just have no idea, but
There comes Tarkin, obviously. But that Yularen guy,
that's crazy.
like that, he is in the Clone Wars. His
Yes.
character is in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So if everybody, I mean, his name is Colonel or Captain
Yularen
Yularen then.
Like that, yeah.
So he's always with Anakin and Obi-Wan on a Star Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
If you see him in the Clone Wars, he's voiced by Tom Kane,
Mm-hmm.
and that is him, which is
Yeah,
that's him right there on the left. It's pretty crazy because you think that he was actually part of the Republic fighting against Separatists, but as soon as the Empire turned over, he basically just became an Imperial officer.
They just kept all the guys and like, hey, you're now
in
the Empire.
And you can tell he's a much older guy, like Tarkin, who was kind of around there and too.
Yeah.
You know,
like what if he's just thinking right now, like, man, it was so different 19 years ago.
But it is kind of a question still, though. You know that Vader. Why is he taking orders from Tarkin?
That's interesting because, yeah, he does say those moments where like he's choking him here, then Tarkin says release him. He says as you wish. But I'm reading through that book, the DK novel, absolutely everything you need to know about Star Wars, and there's a part where it talks about the rank, like who takes orders from whom. And it has the Emperor. It starts with the Stormtroopers, and then it goes to like admirals or whatever. Then it goes from bottom to top. It goes up to it has Vader and Tarkin on the same line, and then they both take orders from the Emperor. So it's almost like that they're kind of the same rank in a way, but really, I mean, he kind of does take orders from him.
Yeah,
like even from the comics a little bit. And we get a little bit of that, but maybe here, I mean,
well, and I think neither of us, unfortunately, have read Tarkin. I don't know if it's kind of explained in there. Yeah. Anybody watching, please let us know.
Yeah,
or listening, because I do need to read that book. But my feeling is I think that Tarkin was tasked, as you can see at the end of episode 3, Tarkin was tasked with overseeing the construction and the finishing of the Death Star. Yeah. So maybe he's been tasked with, making the decisions, and Vader's is there kind of support him.
As you're on the Death Star, you follow his rules.
Basically, yeah. I mean, Vader's there to kind of protect him, what's going on with the Empire, with the Death Star. So I think, and as you see at the end of this, fortunately, he was able to get off the Death Star before it blew up or whatever, But Tarkin, he's, the whole. I think the Tarkin doctrine is still.
It's pretty much
canon.
Yeah. A little different, but yeah.
Which is basically the rule by fear.
It's notion. Phrased slightly differently, but yeah. Man, destroyed.
Now I really like the theory, and anybody out there, stop me if you heard us. I really like the theory that of who actually torched this place up.
Yeah.
Have you heard this theory? You've heard this theory, right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
There's a theory going on out there that the person accompanying the stormtroopers here was Boba Fett, because in episode 5, when Vader's talking to the bounty hunters and hiring them to go after Han, he says, use any means necessary, but I want them alive. Yeah. And he looks right at Boba Fett.
Points at him.
No disintegrations.
No.
And he says, as you wish. So why is he saying that? Well, he clearly disintegrated his aunt and uncle. It's like,
don't kill my family.
No, wait, that's his brother-in-law, right?
Brother-in-law,
his brother-in-law or half-brother. Stepbrother.
Half stepbrother. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, step.
So
don't you?
So it makes you wonder. Like, wait a minute, is that because he disintegrated the last time he hired him to go look for somebody?
Oh gosh.
I mean, that's awesome to think about, because there's I think there's artwork out there where Boba Fett's like getting ready to turn his flamethrower on, and like Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru sitting there. That's crazy to think, but it's definitely possible.
See, they'd be torching dead Jawas.
Yeah.
See how she just kind of like tosses them on this pile.
How he picks them up and moves them, I'm not really sure, but I'll go with it.
Can't really move his arms straight, I don't think. Oh, and he's on there. So sad.
Now he's the hero with nothing to lose now.
Yeah, the decision. Here he goes.
Got to get out there.
All right.
So now we're coming up on Mos Eisley.
Why do we have to go all the way up here to look at Mos Eisley?
Yeah. That's been changed, obviously. There's
Yeah.
a lot of
The
additions and ships and stuff coming in and out.
I like that.
Now it makes you wonder, because that looked like it was kind of in a canyon,
Yeah.
but
You obviously don't see
now
it
you don't
there.
really see much of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like all this stuff,
All
how
this
it's
stuff's
really
added.
busy and how this stuff is added. Some people just really don't like how they've made it this kind of active spaceport in a way.
Why not, though? It looks.
It looks-
this is how it should have looked.
Yeah.
Because it's not some like deserted city. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
it's a working city. People coming there. It's a spaceport. People fly in and out.
Yeah.
Of Tatooine. So, I think the more the merrier, man. The more activity you can give this thing. It doesn't. Again, it doesn't change the story. It doesn't
Yeah.
make you question what's going on. But like that little thing obviously was added. But
R2-D2's just lying there.
yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely good with it.
Good.
Definitely good with it. So let me get to the famous cantina here.
Mm-hmm.
So this part of the special editions is of the changes, like going into cantina. This is where I just wish he would have spent a lot more time,
Yeah.
because there's things you can do with the creatures
Right.
in here that make them a little bit more lively.
Right.
That felt like he's done with other things like the dewbacks, even the Ewoks getting them to blink. Like that dewback was not even ever moving.
It looked like a little potato just sitting there. It was just
Looked like an animal, a stiff animal that was a puppet. You know what I mean? So I wish you could. I wish subtle things on the faces. Blinks or mouths moving or
eyebrows,
eyes.
kind of thing.
Whatever.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of those things. I mean, people have done them. Other artists, editors have done them.
Yeah.
So it's not hard. It's just time. I understand, but
Yeah.
you can definitely do things in here to make it more modern, more up to date. So kids these days aren't like oh, that's just a mask.
Yeah. True.
You know what I mean?
Very true.
You can do that, but famous cantina song.
Oh yeah.
By the
Play that all day.
modal nodes.
Modal nodes.
Yeah, the modal nodes.
One of those guys does have a name. I saw it somewhere. Like the lead singer has a name. It's like, what? It's awful. They don't serve droids. Because why would droids even come into a bar?
I guess not. Yeah. What they just want to charge, man.
Yeah. Just make money off these
Charge
guys.
up.
Come on.
Chewbacca. Now another cool fact that you read in that book that you showed me.
Mm-hmm.
The lifespan of a freaking Ewok.
Of a
Or,
Wookiee.
I'm sorry, a Wookiee.
It's
400 years?
400 years old, pretty much. Yeah.
So it does make you wonder, how old is Chewbacca
He's gotta be. I've always heard he's over 100.
by this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense.
But no, absolutely. Like, if you see him in episode 3, he looks a little different in episode 3. He looks a little different in episode 7. So you can see he's aging. But yeah, how old is he? This is crazy.
Not aging by much.
I wonder if no.
Because you're talking only. The span of these movies is what, 32. This 32 years after episode 1.
From 3 to 7, it's like 70, almost 70.
62
60,
years.
yeah.
Is that right? No.
So you got 19.
30, 62, 60, about 68. Is that right? No.
Around
66.
that.
Yeah,
around
66. So that's only 66 years of his 400 years.
How much do they age in that time? Yeah.
I mean, what's end is he? Which end is he? Is he a young Chewbacca or is he an older Chewbacca?
Yeah. Another thing there, the chopping off the hand, we just saw cleaning up the blood, making it look like more of a cauterized wound.
Should be no blood there.
Should be no blood.
Yes. Should be
Should
no
just
blood
fix
there.
that. Easy. Fix it. Just paint it away.
Yeah. That was a special edition shot.
He's still playing that same song. Family Guy.
And the introduction to Han Solo.
Now, I saw a little extended part of this scene of the very beginning of that where I've never seen before, where Han Solo is actually with a girl in that booth. Like, I just saw this released by Star Wars. In this part here, like they come up to, it's different because they actually come up to approach Han in this booth, and Han is with a girl. He's like kind of making out with her a little bit, and, like talking to her. And then he sees them, and he gets up, excuses the girl, and he sits back down, and it's just, I mean, it's interesting.
Really?
Yeah, like that's a short little piece. You know, you don't jump into the scene as much as you do in this version, but like it still would have been kind of cool to see. It's like adds to that scoundrel kind of thing. Like Han's like he's a ladies guy, he, you know, gets around kind of thing. But yeah, but some people say that Han Solo's character was extremely changed by the special edition. Although I disagree, but
because of the shooting first.
The shooting first thing, saying how it makes him less of a deep character, a little more shallow. He doesn't grow as much because of that, because it makes him such a cold-blooded guy. He warms up at the end.
But he's cold-blooded. You mean they want him to be cold-blooded? Shoot?
Yeah, they thought, like, you know, it's such a drastic change. Like, you see him at the beginning where he just murders a guy. And at the end, he's very, like, you know, compassionate and all this kind of stuff. Well, but I kind of see it now, even with episode 7, it's kind of made me think where it's less about that kind of nature of his life, more about just his more about his heart, where in this he's like a skeptic. He only believes in himself.
Yeah.
He doesn't believe in the Force, only what he sees and can feel and can touch. You know, of course, he kind of learns of the Force and believes in it throughout these movies. But by episode 7, we see in the trailer, he is a firm believer and preaches basically in the trailer like how everything's real. Force, Jedi, it's all real. To me, that is a story of this skeptic, you know, cold man. Not necessarily that he can murder somebody, you know. So I'm okay with that. Although, had I wanted him to originally shoot, you know, first, that kind of stuff, and yeah, sure. I mean, I would have been okay with that if they kept it in there. But I'm not going to freak out about it, that they changed it.
And I feel like there's not going to be any more changes.
Right.
And I say that mainly because, you know, they did a big release of the digital collection, which is basically these movies, just digital now. And it's easy to re-release them on Blu-ray, but I don't see re-releasing them digitally.
Digital copy, buy a new digital copy.
Yeah.
Or if they could say, like, here, just we'll swap you out, maybe a digital
I
copy.
guess,
you know,
but
like
that's the only reason why I don't see that changing anymore.
yeah,
I don't see,
because we just saw it here
because they're releasing the Blu-rays again with those new cases,
tin can cases. Whatever, yeah.
but those are the same movies.
Mm-hmm.
As far as we know, there's no changes or whatnot.
Yeah. So so we saw there it's cleaned up a lot. The shooting, that sequence there, like it's almost at the same time when they shoot, and Han's head still his movement is still very much clean. But Greedo's blaster is still way off.
Yeah, Greedo's not a good shot.
Nah,
He is not a good shot.
they're all talking very close. Let's gather here.
So I like also. I was thinking his shows his ranking on his shirt, like that book you've got. There's that part where they explain what those are.
It's cool.
The look and what an admiral is and what a Grand Moff is and what the colors mean. So there is something there that tells you what is real and what is not, you know, and what everything looks like in this galaxy. So, just hiding out.
Oh, what was that? Walk past the frame with big long legs.
Oh, really?
And this guy, you never really know much about him.
Yeah. He's a spy.
It was Greedo. Greedo
Was it
walked
Greedo
on by.
again?
He just walked on by. He just died.
Yeah.
Same out there. He's back there. Wearing the same outfit.
Is it?
It looks pretty much the same. Yeah.
Well, that looks like him
that
too.
guy,
So
yeah.
they all look like they.
This guy over
wearing
here.
the same. Actually, they all look like they were in the same thing.
And Jabba's definitely changed.
Yeah.
In the different releases.
But this is, to me, the most accurate.
Yeah.
I mean,
Looks really good.
it looks pretty good.
They changed the dialogue just a little bit. Boba Fett.
Yeah. Obviously added much later. Not definitely not there in the originals. Because at this point, it wasn't even created yet.
All right.
Now, a lot of people hate this scene. I, for one, like it. Mainly for two reasons. One, it adds to the, I guess, importance, or something like that, or what do you call it? It adds to Han's situation of having to pay this guy off,
Right.
Because if you never see this scene, you just go by what he said earlier, like, oh, this will really save my neck. You don't really know who he's dealing with.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now you know who he's dealing with. And the other thing for me, and this is me personally, I don't know but I always had a problem when I watched Return of the Jedi thinking, can Jabba move?
Yeah. He just sits there.
This clearly shows that those Hutts can move.
Yeah. Pretty well.
Yeah, and which I guess in the end kind of sucks because I'm watching it Return of the Jedi wishing that he could move.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's always bring him here, bring me, it's like,
Yeah.
it's because he can't physically move, so I'm not saying that I think they should redo Return of the Jedi with a digital Jabba,
Yeah.
but I'd be open for it.
Well, I'll have to see some tests.
Comment on me and kill me. I don't care, whatever. But I would.
What?
I would consider seeing something with Jabba moving around and being more physically able to do things. So I'm okay with that scene. Especially it shows Boba Fett. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So look around. He knows. He's looking around. I don't.
What'd you say?
Yeah, I don't. You're talking. Sounds like you're talking backwards.
Okay, he's pointing this way, guys. Come on.
It sounds like you're a DJ and you're scratching the disc. Is what it sounds like.
I love that look right
face,
there. Yeah. Like, what?
The way he shoots the gun, it's so loose. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it. Very nice.
I love this shot. That shot there they added. Special edition lines up perfectly with that. Because before it just went to that. They just took off and you didn't really see them take off from the inside there. But very cool. And you notice, I don't know if everybody else really does, but and it's because of the effects, obviously. But the ships fly a little slower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not really zooming through space
A little bit. They kind of just gradually shift.
They're moving pretty good. Some of them move pretty good, but I feel like we're going to see this set up a lot.
Yeah. It
in
seems
Episode
like
7
it.
again.
Seems like they're in it quite a bit.
Shot in the cockpit, in the front and the back like this. I think we're going to see that a lot. I think JJ is really trying to get you to feel the original trilogy.
Yeah.
In Episode 7. So something like that. I think these shots, which we've seen stills of these, like in Vanity Fair and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm definitely going to see something like that, I think.
Like this right here. What's that?
Yeah. But for everybody scoring home, that is right there the explanation of hyperspace.
Yeah.
You have to throw it in there to explain what they're about to do.
Yeah.
So you don't get that watching, the prequels.
That's
you don't
true.
get that till the fourth movie.
That's true.
But he's explaining why you need a navigomputer while you're going through hyperspace. I always thought that was a good way to explain it to people that don't know, even though in the universe they know.
I'm British Leia. But on board. She thought it
You
sounded
tend
impressive.
to talk around the people you're hanging out with.
She's, she is 19. She's trying to, be all hip and young, cool, talking British accent.
Yeah. Now, are those her? Is that her real hair?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
That
it's
is her real hair?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure. It's a lot of hair.
I wonder what if they thought that was going to be famous.
All the girls are gonna do this. You don't even just wait.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's crazy.
And like in Spaceballs, wasn't it just headphones? She just had like a pair of headphones on.
Yes.
It's like,
yeah. What? That's hilarious. Yeah. What was her name?
I can't. Prince.
Vespa.
Yeah, I think
Or
that's
something
right.
like that?
Yeah, Princess Vespa.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Gosh, he sounds pretty creepy.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, he was a great villain.
Mm-hmm.
Very intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
Dantooine.
See, and you never really saw Dantooine. Like in the KOTOR games, Knights of the Old Republic, you see Dantooine, and there's a Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. It's really cool. Nothing like Tatooine,
No.
although they sound similar.
Dantooine is more foresty, right?
Yeah, it's
Forest and
normal,
stuff.
just like
Yeah.
a normal terrain
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Because there was a rebel base at some point on
Yeah,
Dantooine.
yep.
That should be pretty cool again on Rebels.
To see that, Rebels
They
or
established
Rogue
Dantooine?
One or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Do it if you're watching this right now. Do that.
And
See, like there, it's like moving randomly.
And there, it's not really blue.
Like, why can't you just
Fix it.
Fix it.
Just fix it. Make it look like a lightsaber.
Yeah. I'll do it. I don't care.
I know.
Give me
It could do it all. Could do it all.
Yeah.
So Luke begins his training.
Mm-hmm.
Han being cocky.
Yeah. So it's different there from the previous shot.
yeah.
That's actually looks like they're most like the original almost. Really cool what they're playing the Jark here. Rebels, the show Rebels just showed some characters playing this game, and here like their stop motion animation kind of thing. All these holograms here, so they kind of like skip because that stop motion always had that look like it was like jumpy and skippy.
Yeah.
But in Rebels, when they were playing it, they made the animals look like that. They made the holograms kind of skip like that, almost like that's just the quality of the game that they're
Part
playing.
of the game,
which I
right.
thought was again so cool. Such a cool little tidbit there that just makes it all mesh and like continuity. Like it just matches and it makes sense. Very cool.
Yeah, what's that game called again?
I think the Jark.
The Jark. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I mean, they actually have that game.
Yeah, they make
can actually
tables and
Play that game because I saw it. We saw it at the convention. Right?
I would love to have
The
that.
Gen Con?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was
People
so cool to play that.
I had that table and playing it. Yeah. But see, that looks greenish.
Yeah.
Not blue. It's like in between. You
Yeah.
know, it's
And you can tell like it's like jagged too. It's like
it's very jagged.
it's just not a good looking lightsaber, people.
Just fix it.
Yeah, can't get over it.
Cannot get over it.
And some of the
jump,
purists,
and that right there, the jump cut.
Yeah, some of the purists like want that rough look because they had to physically scratch it, scratch the film to get that, to make it look glowy, whatever. So, I do appreciate the kind of nostalgic of that, of wanting that, that old film look and that old special effects because he didn't have enough money to make it look like, well, first of all, it didn't even exist, so it looks so rugged. But in that same vein, that it needs to look accurate and modernish. So because I don't want to watch this and be embarrassed by watching it, like because it looks so bad. Why do they have a helmet like that on board?
I'm
What's
not
the point of that
sure.
helmet?
Like, I guess you just put that down if you're gonna blow up something because it's called a blast shield, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true. It's protected from the
But,
sun or from light.
I think it's from explosion, maybe.
Yeah. Whatever.
Blast or something. I don't know. I guess it flips up easily.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
Oh.
I always thought that was cool.
Good
That
job.
he did that.
Yeah. Well, he's learning. You're doing it. So here it is. Here's skepticism here.
Yeah. Alderaan. I'm glad we got a glimpse of Alderaan at some point, episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I don't remember in Clone Wars if they went to Alderaan. I think they might have, but I don't remember
know.
too much. But
yeah, I don't really think so. Why doesn't Vader just sit down?
probably too hard to get up.
Stands the whole time.
Probably hard to get up.
Yeah. He's impatient.
But another key interesting point was back when he first walked into the room with all the Imperials in there. He mentions how the Senate was disbanded.
Yeah. So there's that shot.
There's that shot.
Lightspeed. That's so cool.
Awesome.
But yeah, the Senate being just like dissolved.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's no more Senate. It's just governors, kind of governor leaders that are kind of ruling their part of the galaxy.
Mm.
But the big thing to take away from that, I think, is that that's just a really brief mention of the Senate that you kind of just brush off, not really knowing what it is, not really understanding what it is.
How vast is the Senate?
Yeah, it's not until the Clone Wars and the prequels that you really get a sense of what the Senate is and who's involved in it.
Like, I want to see the Emperor actually doing that. Like,
Yes,
that's
disbanding it.
Because now knowing that there's thousands of senators in this huge room on Coruscant, like that's such an epic thing to just suddenly be like, listen, you guys are all fired.
Yes.
Now we have all these governors in control. So that's a big moment. That I want to see. I want to see all that.
Yeah, because he basically obviously conned his way into being the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you wonder if, is he making the decision to disband it, or is he dropping enough hints in the Senate enough to people are like, yeah, we gotta just get rid of this.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I don't, who knows what he was doing with it, but but the Senate is no more, and it's no more for years. Through Return.
See, Obi-Wan's got a patch on his shoulder there, on his robe. Let's see if they show that shot again. You can't really see Luke's in the way, but Obi-Wan's got a patch like sewn into his robe there. I wonder if that's because from Mustafar, all those burn holes in his cloak.
Oh, is that the same cloak? Oh, right there?
Yeah. Might not be the same cloak, but I'm sure he changed his clothes in 19 years or washed it or something, but
that might be just from like cooking dinner or something like that, yeah.
Fighting Tusken Raiders over for 19 years.
But no, that's interesting, yeah, to see if I wonder if that is the same. That's no moon. Great shot there, getting sucked in there. That's for 77, I mean, some good effects though.
Yeah.
I mean, some really good effects.
So those stormtroopers out in space right now, or are they?
Yeah.
They're just outside. Hopefully,
Look
they
how,
can
I
breathe.
mean,
those look pretty good.
it's amazing how just imagine how big that thing is.
Yeah.
I mean,
in that book, in that DK book, it's like 70 some odd miles in diameter.
yes.
It's all the way across. And Death Star 2 is like 96 miles or something like that. It's like,
Bigger.
It's insane.
Again, it makes you wonder, like, how, it's like DK421, you're needed in section 224. It's like,
Son of a...
oh my God, it's going to take me all day to get over
It's
there.
like 30 miles away. It's going to have to walk that way.
Because if it's a moon-sized planet, it's like,
they've got to have some kind of quick way of zipping in and out of there.
I would think so.
Think of the plumbing.
I would definitely think so. How many stormtroopers you need to get around there?
Yeah. Like that book, it says it's only like 26,000 assigned to the Death Star. Like, not that many, but, I thought there'd be more than that, but
Yeah,
I guess they don't
that's a pretty
need-
good number, but
yeah, they don't need that many, I guess, to operate it. Well, that doesn't count Imperials.
and they're all right
just
there.
officers. Yeah, they're all...
No.
Doesn't count all the officers. Why are you holding it so low? But just... He's got a bigger gun.
Must be nice to walk around in a stormtrooper outfit and not worrying about it falling apart. So they didn't think about checking smuggler compartments, I guess. Or maybe it's hard to even see
They just didn't know.
where that is, But
or scan the ship for life forms.
That's what they're about to do, I think, right?
Yeah,
They bring
yeah.
the scanners on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the pants you were Halloween. This past Halloween,
Yeah,
you were
Han,
Han.
just up as Han Solo, episode 5 version of Han Solo. Because this one, he has the vest jacket. He has the kind of
Oh, you were episode 5.
V-neck,
right?
low-cut shirt, and he has the blue pants with the red stripes. Whereas in episode 5, he's got a different shirt with the kind of the flap,
Yeah.
and he's got the long sleeve blue jacket and the brown pants with yellow stripes, not the blue and red stripes. So he only has 2 outfits that he wears. I think in episode 6 he goes back to the what this is here, pretty much. But that's a great costume. I love that costume. It's probably my favorite one I've worn so far.
Yeah. For sure.
And then my wife was Leia from episode 5 as well. It was very nice.
Smoked.
Dead. They just killed him.
TK421.
We just heard some blast.
So another quick thing about the stormtroopers that some people may or may not remember, but the stormtroopers are not clones,
Right.
Especially in this.
At this point,
At this
definitely
point.
not. Yeah.
As you can see in Rebels, they've brought some of the clones back that have survived, but they're only alive. I think it's mainly the ones that were able to remove the chip, the Order 66 chip, because they're just not in service anymore, and they're kind
Right.
of living their lives, but their aging still is accelerated.
Yes. Yeah.
So they're old men by the time this movie hits. So, I guess if you're a stormtrooper in this series, then you're basically just a soldier that kind of enlisted and worked your way up. And I guess, or I don't even know if you worked your way qualified to be an elite stormtrooper.
Right.
And you're a stormtrooper. But
Because I remember.
no clones.
No, yeah, and I remember when episode 2 came out, thinking like, "Oh, that makes so they must be clones in episode 4," because I always thought that they kind of sounded the same in this movie here. And I'll point out a scene where both of them are kind of talking to each other. Here,
Oh,
come up
like
in a minute.
that they sound the same?
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, okay, so they are clones because they sound the exact same in episode 4," but I haven't really had time to really figure out if they do sound the same. I just remembered them that they did. Oh, another good line.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, why are you standing right in front of it? He just leans on him.
Leans on them. Yeah.
Don't move, Chewie.
Who do you think you are? Is that what you're about to say?
Oh, yeah. Princess Leia.
What? We gotta help her.
Princess? What are you talking about?
What do you think about their? What do you think about their hairstyles? You think it's dated? Like,
I mean, this
you
is
think it makes the
70s.
movie dated?
It does. And I kind of remember when like episode 3 was coming out, like when episode 2 even like everyone's got that kind of mullet kind of look almost. Like I feel like that they were trying to be consistent with the hairstyles.
Yeah.
Like episode 3, Anakin's got that feathered long hair look. Like I think they're trying to match the 70s kind of hairstyle. But yeah, it definitely does. Especially Han Solo there. Harrison Ford's got that long sideburns, the long hair.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the look then, for sure. And even in the early 80s, it was kind of the look. But I wonder what he said there. Like, yes, let's do this.
Yeah, he was actually talking on set though, wasn't he? Because I've seen some raw footage where he, like the part where
I don't know.
Harrison Ford says, "Boy, you said it, Chewie. Where did you dig up that old fossil?" Like when Chewbacca talks there before him, like he actually says something. Because I remember seeing the raw footage on like a documentary and hearing Peter Mayhew talking through it. So I don't know if he talks every time or if it just specific times.
Well, right there he did,
Yeah,
for sure.
he just yelled.
Back off. Now, does he make the actual sounds, the Chewbacca sounds?
No, that's all computer.
That's all later?
Oh yeah,
That's all later?
But when we saw in that Force Awakens featurette, when Peter Mayhew says, they go to Peter Mayhew in the suit, and he says like it's like, like the old days or whatever he says. He actually makes the Chewbacca sound himself.
He
A
does.
little bit. Like he can actually do some of it.
That's what makes me wonder if he's actually making that
Sometimes doing
sort. Yeah, making that sound. I mean, I was thinking he actually did it later, in the booth, and they added it.
Yeah.
But if he can do it then, I mean, you're saving a bunch of time.
I don't know, but I know they at least created it with all these different sounds of bears and lions and that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's.
Hey, is that a black 3PO?
It kind of looks like it, but I don't think so. It's a little different.
Oh, a little different. Looks like one of them insect droids.
Yeah. Is that you, Lauren?
I think so.
What's he doing?
Been you, Lauren. What are you looking for?
Yeah, they're so suspicious looking. Like when these guys with the walk on, it's like, nope, don't. You don't want to go on this one now.
Now that was ad libbed.
Was that? I don't know.
Did I read that? That was ad libbed.
I
read that he said I can't see a thing in this helmet.
Yeah.
Because he literally couldn't see because because he's so short.
Yeah.
The helmet sits low.
Yeah.
That he actually couldn't see anything.
Oh.
So
I've sensed something. Something I haven't felt since. Nah, it's nothing.
now according to what we know, he truly hasn't seen Vader since
Right.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
I mean, that's as far as we know. That's correct, right?
Mm-hmm. But I mean, it'd be interesting to see if he ever, at least saw what he looked like, what to expect, or I don't know.
Right.
'Cause I had to be curious, like to hear like that Vader's still alive.
1138.
Here it is.
Yeah.
He's so suspicious. Like, what do you have to be suspicious about? I mean, I guess it's a good thing that you are, but still.
Yes. He's loose. Grab his gun.
Yeah.
See a lot of the magenta look?
Yeah.
The flashes.
This is
I'm not sure
intense
that's
gunfight.
supposed to be. I keep forgetting to look back at the.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
There's a lot of action going on.
Yeah.
There. Lots of action.
A lot of cameras and turrets and.
It's amazing that Chewbacca's not getting hit or anything. There's some really bad shots.
Yeah. I guess it's just that explosion that's knocking him out.
I guess.
You just toss the dead body off.
Yeah.
No, but this come up here is ad-libbed with Harrison Ford right here.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, that's all pretty much ad-libbed. Like the way he's even talking, it's hilarious. Thank you.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. He's acting like that.
For you. That's good. Family Guy, gosh, I always think about it because they take this scene and kind of run with it their own way. It's so funny. They're very clever. Robot Chicken and Family Guy both. Very clever.
Luke and Leia meeting for the first time, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Since birth.
Oh, yeah.
And he's got the...
Hey,
yeah.
lady.
What's going on?
Oh, the uniform, yeah.
I forgot I was wearing a
forgot I had this
stormtrooper helmet.
Hot and heavy helmet.
Because I could see you so clearly through these eyes.
Huh.
Oh, Ben Kenobi?
Yeah, but I mean, not Ben. I told you to go find Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Who's Ben Kenobi?
Yeah, see, I guess they haven't. Obviously, they haven't run into each other since episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't. He just says I felt like presence of an old master, so he was still a master then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does he truly have? Does Vader truly have no idea where or if Obi-Wan was alive still? I guess not.
I mean, I think he always assumed he was alive because that one comic book as well kind of talked about. He just kind of like he doesn't know for sure, but he kind of always assumed he's probably alive somewhere. But I don't know. Like just start shooting in the same spot, and you'll get all of them.
That's right.
Just
Or else they'll pile up big enough to where they can't make it through.
Yeah.
But that guy got through somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow he got
He's-
through.
Jeez.
Yeah. Now, how far is that, really?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it seems like it's pretty far, but yeah, I don't know.
Where's the painting end at? Yeah.
He's got a dent in his head.
Yeah, he does.
What happened?
That's not there all the time, though, is it?
I don't think so.
Probably gets rubbed out
Yeah.
once he gets a
I have to
new
think that, yeah, that
armor.
ends. I don't know. That's a good question. Because it looks like, out of focus back there and everything, so it's good. Good trick photography there. He kind of cussed.
Yeah.
He's kind of, I don't really hear that word often in Star Wars.
No. Hardly at all. And now they got to go through the garbage. It's your birthday. Get down there. Get down there.
Gosh. Just toss a grenade down there or something.
Well, what do they have grenades? I don't even know if they have grenades in this galaxy.
They do in the video games. Oh, he landed on something sharp and stabbed him.
Ouch. Yeah. It's weird how they call that a garbage chute, and it's like
Yeah.
all this mechanical stuff. I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
it's the only thing to toss. There's no food. There's
wait,
no...
this thing doesn't work. This radio doesn't work anymore. Just throw it down the garbage chute. You know, like
The garbage chute.
the garbage chute. Yeah. And then where does the water come? I guess
Yeah.
people throwing their drinks down there too.
Ew,
Like,
like urine, and it's like it's probably a waste.
I guess.
That's
But
gross.
Hey, I got this. I just got this Coke.
Yeah.
We got to go on shift. Throw it down the garbage
yeah.
chute. Okay.
I hate throwing water drinks
And then
in
how's
the
this
garbage.
creature? Did we read how this creature got in there?
Well, in the EU, yeah, it's like it was on like some planet and just got picked up,
Yeah.
and I think it just kind of stuck with them.
When it got shipped.
Or it's like a garbage kind of thing. It just attracted itself to this kind of like junk or something like that. I don't know.
How does it end up on the Death Star? Is one thing. You know, it's like
That's true. That's very true.
I can't remember. I thought we did profile this at one point.
Yeah, we talked
But again,
about
it was EU.
Yeah. So it don't matter.
But
That's creepy though.
But how does this thing end up on a Death Star? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It had to. Yeah, like you said, it had to have been just wrapped up somehow. I don't know, or
Another ship, and they dumped the garbage on that ship. They dumped it out.
or is it? You know what? Just in case some people escape from our detention center
Yeah.
and make it down
Yeah.
to, we should throw this animal in there just to take care of them.
If they think of that, they should have thought of that 2-meter hole in the top of their Death Star.
Definitely true. Definitely true. But
Oh, how they lose them?
yeah, I just thought this was a pretty interesting scene to put in there. You know,
This is a small little conflict.
Yeah.
They just kind of added in. Oh, Luke's dead. That's
just
it.
the animal versus just
There goes Luke.
because of what happens next with the compactor. You know, it's
Yeah.
like
Pretty freaky.
you had to put a couple of different things in there.
Yeah, it's like a 5-minute scene that they're in here.
Yeah,
So we're over an hour into the film, like an hour and 20 minutes into the film, and they're just now trying to get off the Death Star. Like
just now.
there's only a few big locations in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I guess technically you can count 4.
Oh, the Tantive 4 in the
No?
beginning, or
Is it 3?
Tatooine. This.
Tatooine, this,
Yavin,
and Yavin. I guess
Death
actually
Star.
that's it. And Death Star. Yeah.
It does.
Oh, no, that
this
is the Death
yeah.
Star.
So
So there's only 3 locations, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Tatooine, Death Star, Yavin.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't like climb it to get, because if it's a garbage chute, there has to be a chute leading into it that you can possibly climb out.
Right.
Probably be hard, but you try. You look like the droids that we're looking for. Nah.
Okay.
I don't ever remember having messed up protocol droids on the Death Star, but it is a big ship.
Yeah. Yeah. Now he's got the comm. But it's turned off.
Yeah, why would you?
Or something like
Oh,
that.
I forgot I
right?
turned it off. Yeah.
Yeah. But even like back there, like the control panel back there, it's like, I don't know, it looks fine, but you could have spiced it up with a tad or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Digital screen.
Yeah,
digital
like a
readout.
screen, correct. Yeah. I don't know. That doesn't look like it's working. Han.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
Look at this. Input here.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Ho ha ha.
Actually, I think you're going to be dead, Han.
Very funny.
Sorry.
Han.
Yeah. Yeah. But what do you feel about the tension in this scene? Like it's obviously there to add tension and conflict and stuff like that.
It works for me, especially when I was a kid. Like this freaks me out. Like the fact that they might be squished to death. Yeah, it did. It was pretty.
And it's a
crazy.
pretty simple situation, to be honest. You know, it's like
it's like a typical like Lucas is always a fan of those old serials, those old like very like Indiana Jones type of thing. It's where like this.
In fact, the
he's a
music
booby
is
trap.
very Indiana Jones. Just kinda, even though it is the same guy.
Yeah, it's true.
But it's sounds like you know what I mean. Like
like how will they escape? Oh.
yeah.
I'll always love this part though. He thinks they're dying. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, they're dying.
I mean, to me though, Luke doesn't even look like he can get out. Like
That always, that's like a trick with the lens or something, or maybe they just built the set so it narrows down more. But yeah, he definitely looks like he has much less
because everybody else
space.
looks like they're on top. He's like buried into it, but just the tractor beam part, right? Yeah. So again, see those lights up there, the color correction. I'm not sure those were green. I think someone was saying they weren't green originally. Like all that.
Oh yeah,
It's supposed to be white.
Well, now that you mention it,
A lot of the coloring. I think that's supposed to be white. But there's white up there, so I don't know. It's just it doesn't look like it did.
Yeah.
In the special editions or in the original. Now they did change that. The language on there.
Yeah.
Used to say tractor beam.
English. Yeah. This is the tractor beam.
But for everybody that's watching, it's not English. It's basic.
Yeah.
They don't speak
Arabesh
English.
or something like that. It's called like
Arabesh is the alphabet. Yeah, I think right.
Right.
That is based
Yeah,
on.
and in that book that I have, it even gives like phrases that you can speak in Arabesh. Like
Really?
Arabesh. It's pretty interesting. Like it's an actual.
So Arabesh is an actual language.
I guess Arabesh. That's another thing. Yeah, I want to be clarified because like playing the KOTOR games, they always reference it as Galactic Basic. Like you speak Galactic Basic. You speak Basic.
Yeah, basic. Basic is like our English, basically.
Yeah.
Right? But it has those symbols as which I always thought was the Arabesh like alphabet.
Yeah. Oh, that's weird.
But
It's-
maybe it's a language. I don't know.
see, they kind of sound the same.
They do kind of sound the same. Yeah,
So, yeah,
similar.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely similar.
So that's confusing.
Did you say check out that T16?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, the T16. Yeah. What's that? Oh, it's nothing.
Yeah. What that? Nothing. Don't stay there. Han Solo got the belt on. They both got the belts.
Yeah.
Do they want to go inside or?
So was that a digital?
ship?
Falcon, or did they actually build?
I'm pretty sure that.
They built a full-size
Yeah,
Falcon,
I'm
did they
pretty
not?
sure. Probably just for this, you know.
Now, what do you think about adding the Stormtrooper?
Oh,
to this?
it's funny. I think it works. You know. Again, it's one of those things. Like I never thought it was missing this,
Yeah.
but I think it's funny that it just adds to the scene a little bit more. Like it doesn't hurt the scene, so that's okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, you have those people who are just like, if there's absolutely anything different, they'll just get so mad and flip out. But you know, I'm okay though. Doesn't hurt my experience watching it.
No.
So the lights should look like that. See how those are white lights in the back? Oh, when it cuts back.
See, I think so,
Yeah.
but that's what I've read is some problems with the see how that's all white. Some problems with the that's what it's supposed to look like, pretty much, isn't it? I mean,
I thought, yeah.
but some reason it's green. But again, that's what a lot of people mention how it's just. It looks like there's a lot of green in the coloring, and it shouldn't be. You know, there being especially. It's really just in the highlights too. 'Cause I think skin tones look pretty good. The white on the Stormtroopers look pretty good, but it's just some different color with the background lighting and sabers and stuff like that. It's just a little off.
Taking forever to get this thing out of there, Luke. Come on.
Now they changed the sound on that. Did you?
On the door?
No, on the gun, because Leia's gun always sounded like an actual
Gun?
shotgun. Like that last time when she shot, it was like
Yeah.
like a gun going off. But they actually just changed. I didn't ever notice that they changed it for the Blu-ray though. But before that gun was bad. It was just like you could hear the instead of a laser beam. I'm not really good at sound effects. They didn't really work out too much, but yeah. Still running.
Yeah. Missed them.
Yeah, how are you missing? You're like aiming right at him. Classic showdown here again.
Yeah. He's just waiting for him.
I know.
How long were you waiting there?
I'm gonna stand right here
I hope he comes through this hall.
where there's nobody around.
There was a little bit of a cut there.
Yeah, a little bit. That was much better though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. These lightsabers
The jump cut.
Lightsabers
stuff,
look much better here too.
Yeah, they fixed these up because they were like his especially Vader's during the first round of color correction. It really messed with his and made that a solid red pink color.
Yeah.
Not have the white. Oh, a little turn.
Yeah.
Didn't do nothing for an old man, you know. But he tried.
They're just
He
doing
tried.
simple little pars here going
Yeah.
up, down, up and down.
Yeah. But yeah, the white blade wasn't part of his saber, but now it is, and it looks pretty good. Looks decent enough. Yeah, it's crazy to think like seeing Return, Empire, seeing the lightsaber fighting is like it was decent.
Yeah.
But you don't really get the full effect of a lightsaber battle until you see
Yeah.
the height of the Jedi. You know, the back in the prequels when they were training those different forms and different ways, and you know, this you just have kind of older gentlemen fighting each other, and Luke not being fully trained on kind of combat. You know, and illustrating some of the moves you see in the prequels. So
Yeah. It's just like
it's fencing.
spastic, like slapping.
Yeah, it's basically fencing.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think, if I remember correctly, that's what Mark Hamill's training was fencing, right? So that's why you see kind of the wide stances, the strikes back and forth kind of thing, you know. So a lot of fencing technique, not really the martial arts kind of stuff that you see now,
Right.
especially with Ray Park
Oh yeah.
playing Darth Maul and whatnot. But
Crazy.
now, why does he disappear?
Yeah. I think that just happens when you come one with the Force. That's kind of how I always thought. That's why Yoda disappears.
Yeah.
But then, the whole...
Oh, wait. I didn't even notice that. You see,
What?
the Stormtrooper shoulder pad, his shoulder thing is
it
coming off.
Yeah.
It's falling off, yeah. No,
Coming one with the Force, it's a different thing.
I think. Well, obviously, I think we get kind of an answer. We get majority of an answer. What was supposed to be in the final season of the Clone Wars.
Right.
Yoda going to
Morabond.
well, he goes to Morabond, but then he goes to that central place, the core planet, basically. I think in the galaxy,
Yeah.
which is where the Force is from, and kind of you have to, at least with spoilers if anybody hadn't seen it yet, especially, but basically what it's portraying, I think, is that you have to kind of fight your inner
Darkness.
inner darkness.
Yeah.
That's what's so cool about that was that Yoda, someone that everybody thinks that is the greatest Jedi, the most powerful Jedi, even he had a dark side.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you basically have to be, in order to be one with the Force, I guess, after death, is you have to be able to not have those dark.
Be totally rid of it. Just be
Totally.
You're one with who you are, and you're one with the potential that you could be evil, but you have defeated that kind of evil inside.
There was this little evil Yoda running around fighting
a little
him.
gremlin or something like that.
And so at some point, Obi-Wan has to do the same. And he does that. Now, the big question is which I'm not sure if it's fully answered yet, but Anakin becoming a Force ghost after he dies.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? Because he had to have been trained like he had, like Yoda and Obi-Wan, but when would that have happened?
Maybe it's the same way that Qui-Gon became, since he's the first. He
never became a Force ghost, though.
That's true.
I don't know. Did he? No, I don't think he did.
On Mortis, but it was more of a vision.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
But he was able to commune.
Right.
As Yoda said, he communed with them. So.
No, I mean, part of me...
Might have been different. Might have been different levels.
Yeah. I think it's just partially because he's the chosen one. He's so powerful. He is born of the Force, so he's able to easier, perhaps, but maybe it just happened because he did fight his inner demon. He became his inner demon and defeated it, and he died doing so. So I think that's just part of that is it just happened for him.
Now, were you saying something else about that?
No,
okay.
I'm done.
This out of everything the 6 movies have put out, I would, if I had my choice, I would probably get rid of this scene.
Get rid of it, or
totally.
just reshoot it and remake it.
Well, if I can reshoot it for sure, I would make it better. But I still feel like the effects on that scene has never been.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't really do much anything with that. It looks like the Falcon is just sitting there when the TIEs are flying by it. There's no speed in that scene. I just feel like I hate to say it, but in Episode 7 trailer, when boom, the Falcon's flying and the TIE fighters.
That's how it should be.
That's what it should look like. That's what that scene should look like. They didn't just stop and then get in the guns and start shooting while they're getting shot at.
Yeah.
No, they're still flying. And the TIE fighters should not have been passing it and coming. You know what I mean? It looked as if they were just put it in auto, and just floating around while they're shooting, where they were trying to maneuver. And it should have been, basically the fighter should have always been behind them. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I just never been a fan of that scene. That part, I almost want to fast forward every time I come up. Because really, you could just show this part.
Mm-hmm.
You could just show this part, like, because when they say like easy, you call that easy. It could have been just talking about getting out of the Death Star, not those fighters. You know what I mean? She's like, they're tracking us, not this ship. So it's like you didn't need to do the fighting. You could have just kind of went to that scene. And I don't know. That's just me. Either I would make that better, or I would just get rid of it altogether because I don't think it's needed. Because this part here is all fine. Yeah. You need all this.
Luke's having a thing.
Luke's got a thing going on. Yeah.
Sicko.
And Han's just playing him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. So here we come up to Yavin 4, which Yavin 4 is a moon. That's Yavin.
Yeah.
That is the actual big gas planet.
Right.
Yavin 4 is just the moon on the side of it. That's canon. Yavin 4 is a place where those are old Jedi temples.
Is he like checking the speed?
That's new because that wasn't in there before.
Yeah,
showing the Falcon kind of landing, but yeah, I think is you tell me in the expanded universe, is this where Luke reestablished the Jedi?
It's a temple called the Masazi Temple because there's a native race on Yavin 4, the Masazis, and this temple has like a lot of history in this people, and actually has a lot of history in the Force itself, and there are other like tombs and ruins heavily deep in like Sith history. So Luke just thought it was like the best place to start the academy in this temple here. So that'd be so cool if we saw it.
Yeah, you kind of got the feeling that if we ever did see beyond Episode 6, then that would be the case. Even when it was announced that Episode 7 was coming, I thought, oh well, that Luke's got to have this Jedi Academy going on Yavin.
Come on, yeah,
and there's got to be all kinds of Jedi now again.
Yeah.
Maybe not thousands, but hundreds. So it's confusing if there are no Jedi around still for 30 years, but
there are some shots in the teaser trailer of Force Awakens that look like it could be Yavin, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I think spoilers, like it's kind of where Poe Dameron grew up. He grows up on Yavin. Yeah. Because when his parents kind of leave the rebellion to go raise him, they settle on Yavin. So yeah,
here's one of those shots that we thought could be definitely changed.
You put newer plans up. You just put updated plans up. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah,
like that's easy. Like we could do that.
Yeah,
I mean the shot's stationary. You don't even have to track anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just put a new screen up, put a little updated graphics, whatever. I don't know. It's just you can actually show the Death Star.
Yeah,
like. You would think if they had made plans of it, it would actually be renderings of it.
Yeah, 3D stuff.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's like...
So,
everybody, we apologize, but we got the Atari version.
Yeah, exactly.
We didn't get the Xbox One version. We got the Atari version, okay? So, just bear with me.
Got some cool sound effects.
I mean, I feel like you should start playing Asteroid. Like, like... I'm an X-wing. I'm destroying asteroids. But see, like this is not bad. I mean, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it could be better.
Yeah,
but it's not bad. Like I love the there's a shot with the guy that does the revisited stuff. That we mentioned him a few times.
Yeah, he did. He messed with that.
He did. He changed that stuff. But the one cool thing he did was later on when you see Leia in like the command center kind of thing, and they're looking at that flat graphic.
Yeah. You see that?
Well, he actually lifted it up.
Yeah.
And it's a 3D thing where you see the Yavin planet, Death Star on the other side, and it's coming around.
Yeah.
But it's up in the space above the map than it is now. Cool. That's pretty awesome. I mean that to me, just a little thing like that, like you said, would just update it enough for like the next generation being like, well, okay, maybe it's not so old.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
It's new. Or hell, it can almost look like it's like a new movie. Like they just redid it. If people hadn't, if like my daughter, if she finally sits down and watches this movie when she's I feel like the age is 7, 8 years old that you should really, if you really want them to get into Star Wars and show them this movie, I think it's around that age. So she's not there yet, but I think if she watches that with updated graphics and everything, I want to believe that she would not feel like it's an old 70s movie.
Sure, yeah.
That it's maybe it's 5 years old or 6 years old, but definitely not 35, 40 years old, you know. So,
yeah.
Oh, it's Han.
He's being a big jerk.
I'm really happy though that they did put in this full big scene.
The X-wing battle here, Battle of Yavin. Is that what you mean?
No, this is right here when he talks to Biggs in the hangar, because that was not
big
in
scene. Biggs.
Biggs. I'm sorry,
Big scene. Yeah.
Biggs Darklighter here.
Yeah.
Like he is, like before it cut, this scene wasn't in there. Like before it cut to him just getting into the X-wing.
Yeah.
And this was never in there until it was, I want to say it was one of the releases of not the initial DVD release of the special edition, but one or two after, because this was not in the special editions or in the theatrical versions.
Really?
No.
I don't remember that. Wow.
Yeah. It literally cuts to you see him walking away. It cuts to that. Like you see this guy walking away. You don't know. You never you never seen the conversation before that. Now I could be wrong that it was in the special edition, but I know for a fact it was not in the theatrical.
I think it was in the special editions.
Okay.
But
I think it was in I want to say it was in a later version of the special editions. Like the ones in '97 they got released. I want to say it wasn't in there still.
They still have cut a lot from Biggs, like the whole deleted scenes where he was on Tatooine.
That was awesome. I wish that was in there.
That's
the Tachi Station stuff.
Yeah.
I wish that was still in there.
Yeah,
because it does add more friendship between them. It makes you feel for him when he gets killed, later on in this battle. Also, it just shows, Luke in that Tachi Station, just really his desire to leave and go with his buddies. You know what I mean? That's
he
a
actually
pretty
watches
big
the battle above him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, was that? Yeah, that stuff's going on.
He looks up. Yeah, the Tantive 4 stuff. He looks up and you can see.
Wow. Yeah, that's right.
See that stuff happen.
See, that's awesome.
So in this fleet, there are some characters that we actually learn of in the stories in the comics, right? Like one of the couple. Well, what's one of the girls? That's like one of the A-wings, or not A-wings, but A-wings or Y-wings. That's split. It's like a female bomber because in Aftermath, isn't she in it or something like that? Can you read of somebody? And you went back and actually watched this scene to see.
No, but that was in Return.
Oh, Return of the Jedi one. Okay.
Yes.
So we'll
when they're going into the Death Star.
Yeah.
Yeah, she flies in.
That's right. It's the Poe Dameron's mom.
Is she? Is she Poe?
Or was it another character? Might be another character.
I think it's another character.
I'll have to watch it.
Oh man,
we'll get there. Before we watch episode 6, we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, what story was that?
That was Shattered Empire, actually.
Was it Shattered Empire?
Pretty sure.
Yeah, maybe it was Poe Dameron's mom. No, I thought I read that in Aftermath.
Maybe.
She's in Aftermath.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
She's in Aftermath. See, that too, the magenta.
Yeah.
I think they're supposed to be red.
Yeah.
More red. But that's really, I don't know, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
I gotta look at the old special editions and see the color correction. Because I could have swore they admitted that there was problems with it, and that it was because of the Blu-ray transition from. See, those look more red.
Yeah.
See,
definitely more red.
Just looks like just something like that, Now, what about this space battle? What about this would you change? Like right there, see, like that. That map would have been better. But what of this stuff?
I mean, if you're really going to change a lot, like I just think reshooting some of the stuff, because you can still tell like some of the models.
You
can still tell some models are in some matte paintings or whatever. Some of the the compositing of the ships in the background. But it's still pretty good fight scene, to my opinion at least.
Yeah.
I mean, the trench run, I think I would have reshoot some parts of the trench run as well. But like overall, I do like it. But it does. The scene does look a little dated, to an extent. At least for me.
My only thing is like, I don't know. My only thing is like when you see them in the cockpit
Yeah.
of their, like in the background, like you just don't see enough in the background.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and maybe part of it is the Empire just doesn't believe, those ships have effect, so they don't even try. They just let them do what they want. But they are shooting at them.
Yeah.
There should be constantly,
All those turrets.
there should be constantly, yeah. You see them every once in a while. Like, see all that green back there? Like, that wasn't it, I don't think. But, But I just think that that's all I would do. Like right there, like you just don't see a space battle going on in the background. There,
Right.
Like in most of those shots, you just
And one thing too that's interesting.
like right there. Like where's everybody else at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There should be like just stuff going on all over the place.
Yeah.
Very much like what you see in the episode 7 trailer right now.
Yes.
Like when
Yes. Yeah.
that's what it should look like. Like that. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
That's where I only have a problem with this is that it's just so isolated and it
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a dogfight.
Yeah.
A dogfight is just. I mean, watch Top Gun, man. There's action all over the place,
Yeah.
right? So that's where I would. I'm okay with if you don't want to update the maps or even the scope, on the
Yeah.
through the eyepiece like part of the X-wing.
Mm-hmm.
But see, like even that, like there's nothing going on back there. I don't know. Again, that would just update it so much better.
Right.
That's not bad, but it'd be cool to have some firing going on from the surface. Like that wasn't bad. You have glimpses of it. You just gotta be more consistent about it. That's a great thing about Wedge. Boom.
Yeah. Flies right through it.
Yeah.
No, it's something really cool that we found out through Rebels, the little features that they do called Rebels Recon, where the size of the TIE fighter cockpits are actually much bigger than what they look like on here. Because in these shots like that, it looks really cramped and really small. But the actual set, tiny set that they built is actually, it's much bigger than what we see. It's just usually how they shot it, the type of lens they used made it look much smaller. You can actually fit it to, like about 3 people in a TIE fighter cockpit. But here it looks really, really cramped. That's right there. That's good. Where's everybody going?
Gold 5 or red 5? I say gold 5.
I couldn't hear.
They're
very-
gold leaders.
very calm.
They're gold squad. I think the Y wings are gold squad. The reds are the X wings, right? Watch for enemy fighters.
Huh. Like Vader takes out like pretty much all these guys.
Yeah.
We don't really see how cool of a pilot, how good of a pilot he is necessarily. Like he is taking out all these guys single-handedly. But like in Rebels, when we saw Vader in Rebels and his little fighter, like he was taking out like, almost a whole armada by himself. It was insane.
Actually, now it's funny. I don't even know if I've ever realized this, but is Obi-Wan talking about him being a great pilot? Is that kind of alluding to the fact that that's Vader? That his father is Vader? Remember when he's like, he was the best star pilot in the galaxy.
Yeah.
And then Vader portrays right there that he's
very good.
a very good pilot.
Yeah. You can kind of...
I mean, is there almost like, wait a minute.
like, he's a pretty good pilot. He says the
Is
best
Vader?
pilot. Yeah.
Vader killed his father, but maybe
Maybe
his
someone...
father?
I wonder if there's someone of age back when this came out, old enough, to think of that.
I don't even know if I ever thought of that like that.
I never thought about that. No.
Wait a minute. Because right now you're thinking, okay, Vader killed Luke's father, right? But, there is that hesitation by Obi-Wan. You remember? He's like, what happened to my father? How did my father die? And he's like,
Yeah.
a young pupil named Darth Vader, or a young Jedi named Darth Vader who was a pupil of mine.
Yeah.
He paused there for a minute, So,
What
you
do
know
I
that
say?
you kind of right away, like, think that maybe he's lying.
Yeah.
Or he's just hiding the truth.
Hmm.
And then now all of a sudden it's like, yeah, Vader's a killer pilot.
Mm-hmm. He really does. Like all the other ties are kind of off and backed away. Vader's pretty much him. He's doing all this by himself. He's taking out all these guys by himself.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But the idea of the trench run it was actually a pretty good idea. I felt like, although, why do you have to go in the trench? Why can't you fly above and then just go down at that point where it's,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, I guess the gun, but there's guns in the trench too, so there's guns everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't have the force. That's why.
There you go. Eating bullseye womp rats.
Yeah.
16 back home.
Yeah. Did you bullseye womp rats? Because looked like you weren't bullseye anything.
He should have said bullseye. As soon as Luke nails it, he's just going to bullseye.
Bullseye. Yeah.
Oh.
Like that.
Oh.
Redo that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just redo it. That didn't look right.
Make it digital or something. I don't care. He's got straight hair off the side. Help. I'm sad. Hold me.
Are we about to die?
Yeah.
Biggs.
Any more
Wedge,
fighters?
Wedge, Biggs, and Wedge. I don't know if everybody realizes that. Does everybody know that? And I failed to remember Wedge's actually real name.
The actor's name?
The actor's name.
Yeah,
Lawson, Dan Lawson, Daniel Lawson or something like that?
Yeah.
But anyway, he is the real life uncle of Ewan McGregor.
Right. Yes.
So Ewan McGregor was his nephew, a little kid, when he was watching his uncle in Star Wars movies, and all of a sudden he plays Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy.
How crazy is that?
That's the best.
Oh, man. I think it's Lawson. Sorry, I apologize. Anybody wants to correct me on that, but I think that's right. So, yeah.
Oh.
Wedge doesn't die. He
No.
gets a little nicked.
Sorry, I'm going to leave you alone.
But you know what, Biggs? You could probably do something good back there. So you
Yeah.
just stay there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Send him away, too. It's your buddy, man. You know he's going to get... Yeah.
Can't shoot
Unfortunately.
backwards?
Why doesn't Wedge come from behind
He's gonna get
now?
him. Yeah, no, yeah.
You know?
Wink. Yeah, I'll be right. I'm leaving the battle.
Yeah. I'm just going to let him fly by.
Yeah. Or like Vader says, like, let him go. Your TIE fighters aren't doing much good either. Just send them off and kill them.
Come
on.
Send him off and kill him. I'm going to kind of look up this as we're doing this.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine.
Look up,
The actor.
the actor, because
Yeah.
it bothers me. I don't want to get that wrong.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's a long trench. Like start a
I
little
know.
sooner. Use the
Awesome.
force.
I mean, the trench is actually a pretty good shot when they
Yeah.
do show it like that.
Yeah.
Those are pretty good shots. I wouldn't really change those, really.
Mm-hmm. Luke, what are you doing?
Dennis Lawson. Sorry.
Dennis Lawson.
Dennis Lawson. What did I say? I said something Lawson.
Yeah.
But Daniel. I think I said Daniel Lawson.
yeah.
Dennis Lawson. There you go. Uncle to Ewan McGregor.
Oh.
Oh.
How did he survive?
R2. Blown to pieces.
Yeah, he should have been. There you go. Game over. Sorry, guys.
Commence primary ignition. Now, if everybody, again, the Clone Wars fans, there's a later series of episodes called they were part of the story reels things where they weren't completed, but they talk about the crystals, the Kyber crystals that I think is what powers the Death Star, like bigger crystals. Thanks, Han.
Yeah.
And that was a special edition too.
done.
I love how they put the ring on everything, and they kind of made the explosions look a lot bigger and grander. I think because that's what they would look like. I think not just big sparks. Just boom,
yeah.
you know.
Oh, jeez. I'm gonna throw up.
Now I'm pretty sure that doesn't have hyperspace on it,
No.
so he's gonna have to find some.
Very quickly land somewhere.
I keep thinking of the thing, the robot chicken when he calls the Emperor.
Yeah.
What? The Death Star? Is it how did that happen? What? You're just floating in space right now? That's great.
Family Guy has another little bit about that where like he keeps constantly rotating and like he like loses a quarter and it's like Oh man, R2. How do you fix him?
He'll be all right. See ya.
Yeah. He's just a joy. Bye.
Now, truthfully, did you even think twice of whether or not Chewie got a medal or not?
I mean, no, I noticed a little bit of it. Yeah, like
Really?
I feel like I noticed it right around the time where like I started.
Is that that's a cool outfit. You should Han, the vest.
Yeah,
the blue
I like
pants.
the vest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like it. I just wanted just a little warmer than that. But I love his
That's cool.
He's actually wearing a different shirt now than what he's been wearing the whole time. He's wearing a collared shirt here. But no, yeah, I've noticed. I noticed that Chewie never got his medal. And then I realized that it was actually everybody else knew about it too. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm not the only person.
Yeah,
I guess I didn't discover something really cool.
I know in the revisited thing, he put a medal on it. He put a medal on Chewbacca.
Good.
Yeah.
There is another video out there where someone takes this scene and like basically remakes, like redoes all the audio, basically to where how would the scene sound if there was no music?
Yes, that is
funniest
awesome.
Thing. Like he goes, this
like
guy,
it's all quiet and people going,
yeah, sneezing like whatever. And like you hear like the leather moves when it bends down, the sound of the metal makes when it falls, like all this. Even so detailed, like
it is hilarious.
Like when they're smiling, and like the sound of their lips moving from their teeth, like it's the funniest because they do Chewbacca in a very hilarious way. Like it is the funniest video.
It is very. I remember you sent me that.
We'll have to tweet it out or something like that.
Yeah,
I die laughing every time. Like it's so
very
awkward because this would be awkward.
It would be.
Like there's no
music. It's quiet. Yeah, no, there's no orchestra playing in the background. At least there shouldn't be. But
oh god. But there you go. Episode 4.
Pretty hilarious. We will need to send that out. Yeah. Episode 4, as the credits start rolling here.
Yep.
Again, a lot of things very good about the movie. A lot of things that I think. I just I know the first round of special editions were really early in the CG time.
Right.
It came out in 97. Jurassic Park just came out in 94, so it had only been a couple years that really the technology had changed. And like again, every time he released it, there was something new. But I still feel like they just were never fully redone the way he wanted. I know he keeps saying this is how it would have looked like if I had it, but they still aren't. You know what I mean? And it's hard to say. It's almost like they're only still about halfway done. You know what I mean? So there's so much more to be. I think that can be improved in this movie, especially a little less in 5 and 6, but still there's stuff there that I'm sure we'll talk about in the commentary. So look for that or listen to that if it's out already. But the thing we've been doing, if you've been following us 1 through 3 and now into 4, we've been re-ranking these kind of again, letting you know where these fall. Where does episode 4 fall in your rankings?
4, I believe that
maybe do a little recap.
Yeah, so episode
where 1, 2, and 3 are.
So episode 1 is my second to last.
Second to last.
It's my 5th. Episode 2 is my last. And episode 4 is my 4th. So it's my 4th favorite one.
4th favorite one.
Yeah.
For me, we have the same. Episode 2, we have the same. We have episode 2 at the bottom.
Yeah.
My episode 1 is and then you have 3 as second, right?
Yeah.
Mine episode 3 is second on my list
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
This is where we differ. As we differed in episode 1, my 1 and 4 are switched.
Yeah.
I've got episode 1 4th.
Okay.
I've actually got this 5th.
Yeah.
And again, mainly because there's
All these little.
a lot of effects and stuff in here that I think, again, they don't change the story,
Yeah.
but there's a lot in here that I feel like could be improved and that would make the movie better, I think, in a sense. I mean, the story is still pretty... I mean, to be honest, the story is basically pretty easy, basic.
Very,
to follow.
yeah.
There's not a lot going on.
Yeah.
You're not bouncing back and forth through several different storylines. You're really just following the story of Luke and Han trying to get to Alderaan, and they happen to come to the Death Star and free Leia, which really is just a happenstance. Because, I mean, if the Death Star had destroyed Alderaan and then just moved on somewhere else, they would have never come across the Death Star, right? How would they even know about the Death Star? They don't even know about it.
That's true.
So it's kind of just dumb luck that they actually...
It's the Force.
It is the Force.
The Force.
It's the way things happen.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Every
So-
night, I use this movie to teach for my film class about storytelling. It just follows a basic, like I said, basic step-by-step process. Like, these very specific character types, gets a journey, follows the journey. It's very, very simple.
Very simple. Yeah. Okay, so
Chris.
thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening on the podcast. Thanks for watching on YouTube. Go check out our other commentaries, 1, 2, and 3, 5, and 6, if they're out right now. Again, we're leading up to episode 7, so we got 3 weeks if you're watching this when it's released. 3 weeks until the movie comes out. And like we always say in the other ones, we are going to commentate episode 7 when it comes out on Blu-ray. So, Inside the Force, check us out, InsideTheForce.com for all the podcasts. All of us, follow us on Twitter and Facebook. All the podcasts you can get on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio. And follow Casey over there at Kryptonian1138. I am D. Cottingham21 on Twitter. Other than that, hit us up. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about this movie or your thoughts on all the other movies, and send us some comments. Anything else, Case?
You nailed it.
That's
fantastic.
it. I think that's all of it. So
Goodbye, everybody.
we appreciate everybody's support and listening and watching. So he's Casey.
Yeah. See you guys.
I'm David Cottingham, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.